that would happen the first time. Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Welcome back to Inter Worldwide. What a pleasure it is to be back on this platform, to be able to talk about our beloved Inter as the season starts to drastically approach. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't bring myself to watch any any football in the Olympics. Because like I said with my uncle the other night, my Zio, I needed a break. Between the last season and the Copa and the Euros, I'm run dry. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. Maybe I could tolerate more. But then I think to myself, there's more football now than there ever has been. So I think it's very reasonable to say that as fans, we burn out a little bit. And I burnt out after Italy got eliminated from the Euros. And I struggled to watch the end of the major tournaments. And now, before you know it, it's the 30th of July, meaning we are probably, in my head, 3.5 weeks away from starting a new season. 3.5 weeks from starting a new season. It's madness. It is complete madness. What's up, Steve? Good to see you. And Lucas has come in again as well. Fantastic to see Lucas again. He had a big performance here last time. Big up, Lucas. I'm pretty sure it was Lucas, unless it was somebody else. Sorry about that if it is, but I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, today it's a good video. It's a good video. Thank you to everybody that comes in live. It's at a very inconvenient time, so I'm sure majority of the viewers will watch it back. If you are watching it back, I need you to tell me in the comments below how you feeling about the midfield, because I'm feeling damn good. And if you are tuning into this, you are really, really going to enjoy, because this is a very detailed what's going on, Tim. This is going to be a very detailed, sorry, bro, my memory is completely fried. But now I remember very, very well. I remember everything we spoke about. I just wanted to make sure it was you. So big ups yourself, man. Thanks for coming in. And please contribute as much as you want. So yeah, and this is why I wanted to make the video, because I felt like I could get through a lot of good content in the space of about half an hour, 35 minutes. So without further ado, man, let's give it a crack. Today's piece of content is all about Inzaghi'S midfield for 2024-25 being pretty much set and done. I believe we have one of the best midfields in the world, as Tim says, but we can't start talking about this season's midfield without talking about where it all basically began for Simone Inzaghi and his time at Inter. He's had an amazing time with us, and yes, we are specifying the midfield, but what you're looking at here are probably his biggest pieces. His two biggest pieces. You've got his biggest player per se as he came into the club after Lukaku leaving straight away, and then you've got his biggest signing, or his most valuable signing. When we think of Simone Inzaghi's time at Inter, you think Lautaro Martinez and Hakan Çalhanoğlu. The latter, and the one that's on my left, possibly your right, and however you're looking at this video, was a key and is a key member of that midfield that we are talking about today. Simone Inzaghi has been dealt rough hands at his time at Inter in the Mercato, especially in the first couple of years when it came to losing players. So I think that Inzaghi's time at Inter has always been a time of work with what you have and let's reevaluate at given points in time. And because of that, he always seems to be able to get over the line because he really puts a lot of faith in his methods. And when his methods started to pay off around about the time we made the Champions League run after the two-legged tie against Porto, that's when you really started to see the players buy into it. Systematically, the midfield has been beautiful because it is a department which he has been dealt a fair few blows in. And we're going to cover those blows as well. If you're one of the 12 people with me right now, thank you so much for joining me. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. We're limited with how many platforms we can live stream to at the moment. So the numbers are going to be low live until I decide what to do with Twitter. But I've been given good counsel not to go and pay for a premium membership. So I'm probably not going to do that for the time being, and we'll just stick with the YouTube loyalists for the time being as well. Did I include this slide twice? Jeez, amateur hour from me. Anyway, this Scudetto, though, this means the world to him. And I said it in so many other videos. I'm so glad we're in a position where he only needs to identify 1 or 2 targets, and it's going to work. It's going to work fine. Things are going to work fine. We don't need open heart surgery. We don't need to spend copious amounts of money. And that's why I'm really looking forward to going into the next season. As I said, the fans are very, very, very much behind him. The players are very, very, very much behind him. And I think that going forward, he's going to enjoy another good season. I don't see how he can't. I'm very confident that he enjoys another very good season. And before we go into specifics with the midfield, there was an article written on One Football, and I'm not too sure who wrote it because they don't list the author, funny enough, on the actual article. But there's an article on One Football, which is why I linked it down the bottom there, which says Inzaghi 2026 leadership, personality, and 6 trophies with Inter. It is an absolutely brilliant article. I encourage everyone to go and read it. But for this stream and video's sake, we're actually going to put it up on the screen. So I'm going to share it right now. Beautiful. Inzaghi 2026, leadership, personality, and 6 trophies with Inter. It's a really, really well-written article. A 3-year job that led to winning the second star and forever linking the name of Simone Inzaghi to Inter. The head coach from Piacenza and the club have agreed to continue together until 2026, an extension to a relationship that comes on the back of 3 outstanding seasons in which Inzaghi has lifted 6 trophies to the sky. Being appointed in 2021-22, Inzaghi took over the keys to the team, guiding them to the Coppa Italia and the Supercoppa, beating Juve in extra time in both finals. Another important goal was reached too, getting to the round of 16 for the first time in 10 years. The 2022-23 season saw Inzaghi go on an amazing run in the Champions League, ending at the final hurdle. The Nerazzurri's European journey was marked by exciting and unforgettable matches, such as 2 wins in a 2-legged semi-final against Milan. For the second consecutive year, Inter coach led them to the Coppa Italia, beating Fiorentina in the final. Last season, he guided Inter to the Scudetto of the second star, becoming the true driving force, and it is precisely his light that has illuminated the path that Inter has taken in this campaign. One that was clear, pristine, and without flaws. A steamroller that showed all its strength right from the off. Inzaghi's was a project that reaped the most valuable fruits this season, forever entering the Nerazzurri club as a legend after lifting the 20th Scudetto. A season that also allowed him to win the award for Best Coach in Serie A 2023-24 and to climb on the podium of the Best FIFA Men's Coach, being one of 3 candidates as Best Coach of the 2022-23 season. And not only that, the Nerazzurri coach has recorded some unique stats, which have placed him among Inter's all-time top coaches. In fact, in the last year, he achieved this prestigious milestone of 150 games in charge of Inter, where he has over 100 victories in all competitions. A truly historic fact, there are only 4 coaches who have reached the milestone of 100 victories as Inter coach since the birth of the round-robin Serie A. Before Inzaghi, Herrera, Mancini, Trapattoni achieved 100 victories. Numbers, statistics, and triumphs that make Simone Inzaghi's work even more precious and respected. Inzaghi is with us for the long haul. Inzaghi is with us for the long haul. So, you get behind your manager at this point in time because he's everything. He really is everything. Couple comments before we go on from our boy Lucas. Unfortunately, I don't see anyone else winning the Scudetto other than Inter. Inzaghi has done an unreal job. Very well said. Thank you. Must we talk about the game against Juve? Sorry, I didn't bring it up for too long. Sorry about that, bro. All right, so we can't talk about Inter's current midfield without talking about where it started. What did Inzaghi inherit exactly? What happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. He inherited a midfield of Nico Barella, Marcelo Brozovic, Stefano Sensi, and Christian Eriksen. Unfortunately, the situation with Sensi was long gone before he took over. An unfortunate fall from grace after an injury against Juve after starting really well against Conte led the guy to so much to mental fragility. And to be honest, I think his missus is a bit yap in his head. Too many TikTok videos at home and whatever it is. The core of Inzaghi's midfield would still be Barella, Brozovic, and Christian Eriksen. Unfortunately, the universe, or God, however you see it, has other plans. And we have a very unfortunate medical episode for Christian Eriksen in the last Euro. A moment that had me pacing around the room, just shaking my head at the floor going, just please be okay. Please be okay. Please be okay. And he was okay. Thank God. And he's playing in the Premier League today, still kicking. So grande Christian Eriksen. So however you look at it, Inzaghi is still looking at his midfield quite thin going into the next campaign. He's still got the two centerpieces that he can bank on, Marcelo Brozovic and Barella. However, morale is low. Morale is low, man. And these two are not happy campers. When Papa Conte walks, players like these two and Bastoni and Skriniar and Lukaku, massive ass hissy fits, bro. Massive hissy fits in the interlocker room. Not impressed. Our whole failure to secure the second start earlier than this season comes down to player complacency. It comes down to absolutely nothing else and just an overall unmotivated feeling with certain members of the cohort. These two weren't innocent. Nico is more innocent than Marcelo, but both of these guys are not innocent. And so it's this. Inzaghi's first point of call is to go to Marotta and go, yo, you need to replace Christian Eriksen. That's a ridiculous hole that we are leaving in midfield. The opportunity is there for a free transfer for Hakan, who has been treated in his eyes subpar at Milan. I don't think he gets along with core members of the team. I know he and Zlatan have a slightly toxic relationship, but their loss, which they perceive to not be a loss, is going to turn out to be our biggest gain under Simone Inzaghi. It is going to be the biggest and the best transfer in Inter for the last 5 years, and it's cost us nothing. It's cost us zero. He has come at a zero parameter. And no matter how you look at it now, even if you are a Milan fan clouded with bias, ego, and still part of you that goes, oh, well, we didn't like him. He was done at our club anyway. Who gives a fuck? Bro, we give a fuck. And eventually you started to give a fuck again as well, because only a true Milan fan wouldn't care about going down to 2 legs in a Champions League semi-final. Don't sit there and paint yourself as a passionate Milanista and pretend something like this doesn't bug you. It would bug the living C word out of me. It would bag the living hell out of me. I would never be able to look at him properly on the pitch after what has happened since then. And so we move forward into the Inzaghi era with Nico, Marcelo, and Hakan. And it works. It works. It definitely works. There's issues. There's issues with Marcelo Brozovic's fitness. Bullshit. You can run a country mile for Croatia, but you can't crawl for us. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I wasn't born yesterday. And for those who still need the receipts, you can catch me talking about Marcelo Brozovic's exit on this channel T-minus 5.5 to 7 months before it happened. That's how quick we were to that one. Yeah, that was written in stars, not the second, the previous ones. Suck shit to him, man. I cannot feel less sorry for Marcelo Brozovic in this situation. A player who was deemed irreplaceable, the engine. When Brozovic is off, Inter have a bad game. When Brozovic has an off game, Inter don't get 3 points. Right? Marcelo Brozovic to Al Nassr gets confirmed. Inter receives a Wish.com bootleg fee of about 17.5 to 18 million euros. And we're just cutting losses at that point. Doesn't make any difference to his book value at that point in time. Anything's plus Valenza on someone who's been at that club for that long. But for a player that was dubbed the best midfielder in Serie A, there's another loss for Inzaghi. And so we go to this. Barella, Hakan, and Henrik Mkhitaryan. Let's go. I am a huge Henrik Mkhitaryan fan. Same way I'm a huge Edin Dzeko fan. The same way I'm a huge Matteo Darmian fan. The same way I'm a huge Smashly Young fan. There is a dying breed of footballer that can deliver past their age bracket that people need to respect and stop looking at as washed. When people say disrespectful things about aging players who are still selected at top level by managers like that, it speaks volumes about what you know as a fan. Henrik Mkhitaryan, like Edin Dzeko, like Ashley Young, like Matteo Darmian, are the truth. Henrik Mkhitaryan is about as hardworking, gritty, grindy, classy, elegant, tenacious, technical, physical as a human being and athlete can get. Inter released a small short on their channel the other day of all the players walking onto the training pitch. And the cameraman asks them, "What's your favorite sport in the Olympics?" Everyone's walking. Volleyball, rowing, tennis, volleyball, rowing, swimming, basketball, rowing. Gets to Mkhitaryan and just looks, football. Bang! Football. Come on. These players are incredible footballers. And I know that we have another player that's in our roster now, Lucas, that's about to replace Mkhitaryan minutes-wise. But I think a lot of fans are going to be very surprised with how long he starts the season. I do not think... Oh, and by the way, for anybody that wants to check it out, there is another video on this channel called Let's Talk Henrik Mkhitaryan, where you can hear me basically froth at the mouth over our brother a little bit more. So if you want to check it out, it's about 2 months ago. That's on the channel as well. Basically, it's just me talking about how we need to keep him and not make the same mistake like we did with Edin Dzeko. Goals in critical moments. Critical goals in big games. Champions League games. Derby games. Big-time performances in big games. Such a good player. With an eye for goal. Someone that can connect the midfield to attack. Someone that can flirt out wide. He has no position. He is pure freestyle. Pure freestyle baller, cuz. He's a baller. I cannot wait to see him play for my club again. And we're talking about a 35-year-old Armenian. Like, this is ridiculous. Such a good footballer. We're so lucky to have him. He's such an integral part of this team. And I hated watching him get slandered last season because so many fans in group chats, on forums, on Facebook pages, on Twitter, they come for the weak targets on purpose because they've got no substance to their argument. They get on their backs quick and easy because the argument of he's too old or he's too slow is better than basically sustaining any form of football discussion over what they bring to a system, to a side, to a manager. This bloke is literally in the column of players that were borderline irreplaceable last season. Anyway, that'll do. This was the midfield going into last season, which won the second star. It did the job very well. We pissed the league by 5 games. But even though you don't need open heart surgery a la Lucas and Juve to change your team, you can't keep it exactly the same. Winning the league by as many points as Inter did means you don't need catastrophic change, but you still need tweaks, because otherwise complacency kicks in straight away. There has to be someone on your heels all the time. And we're going to get to that very, very soon. But now that we are at the end point of last season, Campione d'Italia, we are now at this season moving forward. 2024-25. Leading the pack, you're going to have your 2 names tattooed into that midfield. Deep-lying playmaker as Hakan Çalhanoğlu, and naturally, box to box, on the right-hand side, up your ass, in your ear, out the other. Nico Barella is going to have another world-class season. Why? He just had a son. Believe that. We've got backed up testosterone for days, cuz he is not trying 3 times a week to have that kid in the bedroom. It's happened. It's all about the pitch now. Done. Nico is supremely focused on football and not procreating. You should all be scared. I cannot wait for this. However, what to do with Henrik Mkhitaryan? As I said, I do think you see him start the season pretty much most games in Serie A. I think maybe up until the first Champions League break and the first Copa break, maybe he still will be favored as il numero uno in his position, in his role. Very close behind will be the signing of Zielinski. which I deem to be one of the best signings in Serie A. Now, when you win the league by as many points as we did, you don't need collateral change. You need to be clever. You need to pick ripe pieces of fruit from lagging branches, which is why I still hope that we get Ricardo Rodriguez, because I believe that that would be a signing that is fresh, ripe, hanging down, and all we got to do is go, pop, you're ours now, for free. Let's go. 31 years old, not that old experience, has played a leadership role in Torino. He's hungry for the Scudetto. That's a conversation for another time. However, I uploaded a video yesterday called, why I think we should sign Ricardo Rodriguez. So definitely go check it out. This signing is brilliant. He's a top-tier player in one of the top teams. His time there is coming to an end. We've picked him up for free, and he is very, very hungry to win another Scudetto. He will really, really want that trophy. I know we've heard some things about his fitness and his form not being great last season. Who was good at Napoli last season? Who? Nobody. Not Krava, not Osimhen. None of them. Not Anguissa. No one was good for Napoli last season. Zielinski coming to Inter. Guys, he's been given the number 7. He's not here to eat the bench. He's not here to rot the bench. He's here to be a very, very, very important part of defending the Scudetto. That's for sure. What you're going to see is probably just a lot more rotation, because so many times last season people were saying, when's Mkhitaryan going to get a rest? When's he going to get a sub? Well, now you've got the player that should be able to relieve the minutes that you're asking for and eventually veer into that starting position for the Armenian. And he looks very happy to be here. He's looked really good in pre-season. He's already looked a lot fitter than what he did at the back end of last season with Napoli. And I think that you're going to see him have a really, really good campaign. If he's just willing to work hard and can stay injury-free, I think people will start to speak of him as one of the signings of the season, especially if Inter are able to sustain a title run. The fact that you forgot about this signing and were already saying that we were front runners for the title speaks volumes. I don't think it's anywhere near wrapped up, my brother. But thank you for your comments and thanks for sticking around on the channel. I really appreciate it. I want him to integrate himself nice and easy. You know, you don't need to force these things. We're not in a position where we need to force anything. We're literally in the same position that Juve was in under Allegri when they started doing things like signing Higuain, signing Pjanic, Dani Alves, Khedira. Oh my God, these were such good deals. They made me fucking vomit, bro. They made me vomit because they were disgusting. I was so jealous. Like I told you, Lucas, on this other channel called IWW Extra, you can find videos dating back like 4 years ago of me like saying like, why are we not doing things like this? Why can't we do business like this? It doesn't even take a big financial parameter. And then I quickly realized that Pepe Marotta was around and who he was, and now he's jumped ship and we're reaping the benefits of that. Maybe Napoli under Conte can challenge, but that's the only club. I'm very scared of Napoli, very scared of them. Very happy that they've got Conte as well, because I think from an entertainment point of view, we can all get good value out of that. That's for sure. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. So Zielinski is in. Whereabouts does he fit in? Big up, shout out Uncle Shama, my G, for this screenshot. I remember I was thinking in my head, I'm like, do I have to make a quick image of like Zielinski with like a formation next to him to talk about where he's going to play? I'm like, hold up. I bet Sharmudi has done a scout report. And I checked his thumbnail. I'm like, damn, I'm just going to screenshot that. Big up Sharmudi. Can play either side of Hakan. I think he'll probably relieve Mkhitaryan majority of the time. And we'll just play going forward. He's just going to play going forward, and he's going to carry the ball. He's going to carry it well. I see him linking up a lot with our wing-backs, Dimarco, maybe Dumfries as well, but more so Dimarco. And you know what? You're really going to see him enjoy a lot of time trying to find Lautaro Martinez and Marcus Thuram. I am definitely predicting a season where this guy racks up some assists, man. I would love to see a good amount of assists. Anything +4. You can get 4 assists this season. Or maybe that's a bit. Is that too much to ask in all competitions? It's a bit much to ask, but it's not impossible. It's nowhere near impossible. He could get anywhere from 3 to 9 this season. Like any good player could. But I think if this guy can rack up a few assists and a couple of goals, a GA of 6 or 7 for him would be looked at as very productive, especially if the performances outside of those GA numbers are good. I'm not someone who focuses on numbers too much. So that's why even those numbers that I said there are conservative, because you can still have a very good season without putting together too many numbers up on the board. Alex is here. He goes, with Zielinski, our midfield is so secure on the ball. When we remember with Gagliardini and Vecino were the subs, and that's what I'm saying, cuz and I'm going to get to the bro, you came at the right time, because we are now down to the bench. We're down to the depth. And bro, we have got depth, bro. 9th circle of hell level depth here. The fact that Frattesi still is no closer to a starting position than he was last season is a joke. I would like to see him maybe get some minutes at second striker. I think that we can tweak this 3-5-2 to represent a 3-5-1-1. And on those games where, if we need to keep these forwards that we've got, that being Toro, Turam, Arnautovic, Taremi, maybe Frattesi needs to play a more advanced role where he's bombing into the box and trying to get on the end of things rather than trying to get onto things too early. You feel me, Alex? I feel like we're going to see some of that. And with Mkhitaryan's minutes being relieved, who's to say Frattesi and Mkhitaryan can't pick up some forward minutes or some forward roles? I think we've got a good mix of players in this team at the moment. I'm telling you, I have not been this calm in a long time. The system looks oiled. It looks like it works 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, and there isn't going to be a slowdown anytime soon. I could be wrong, and we could hit a massive disaster this season, but I just think we've got contingencies up the cooler. Look at this guy, bro. The guy looks possessed. He is fit. He is jacked. He is energized. He scored some goals and some moments last season that were huge. That Verona game is etched into me. It's etched into me. That Verona game was incredible. The Udinese goal as well. Look at this guy with his nunna celebrating. The guy, uno di noi, man. Frattesi is one of us. People need to start maybe including him in the conversation of the Bastoni, Di Marco, Barella, fanboy circle, because he's one of them. He has to be one of them, even if it's not from birth. Look at this shit. This is exactly the sort of shithousery, exactly the sort of attitude we need to keep going into next season. Be bullies. Take no prisoners. Juve never did. We need to be hard bastards going into next season. Slap people around for fun again. Win that 21st Scudetto by 5 games if you have to. I want to see it. I'm hungry. I hope these guys are hungry, man. He was put aside after January. He was put aside after January, but we had a mission then, and he still played his role, bro. Frattesi already tried to play as a forward against Las Palmas, and he almost scored. You're going to see it happen. You're going to see it happen. We don't need to break the bank for a 5th attacker. If anything, we need to get Correa off these books completely. Get him out of here, please. Next up in our depth category, our weakest link, but nothing to be ashamed of and nothing to blink at. Christian Asllani is the perfect 6th choice midfielder for this team. Do not loan him out. Do not send him anywhere. Stay. He has the skill set and the experience now to get a few more minutes in games. If he is not satisfied with his minutes come January, if we think we can spare him by January, look for an off-season loan. But to start the season, I hope he's ready, bro, because I like him. I don't love him. I haven't seen anything that makes us say he is going to be great for this club. But he was great at Empoli. With the minutes that he's been given and the inconsistency in patches between performance, he has not once had an opportunity to play himself into form. Not once since signing for this club. It's not his role. It's sporadic. He has lifted to a level that is fine on a rotational level. I would like to see him play a couple of games this season where he has 20 to 30 minute cameos where we go, yo, Asllani for those 30 minutes on the pitch was the best midfielder. Give him a start. Give him a start. It's match day 6, it's match day 9, it's match day 13, it's match day 19, it's match day 21. We are in a Scudetto race. Give the guy a start. Give him a start. Besides that, we were very lucky with injuries last year. Imagine one of the top 3 midfielders gets hurt. We have perfect subs. Exactly, bro. Which is why we cannot loan Asllani out. He needs to be ready just in case something like that happens. He has been here before. This will now be his 3rd season. 3rd season. And I think it's going to be his best one yet. I think we're going to have the sort of season where we go, yo, bump this guy up the pecking order. I hope so. I hope Inzaghi'S biggest problem this season is selection. Because if his biggest problem is selection, we're in for a great season, guys. We are in for a tip-top season. Big up Asllani. Big up Asllani. And that's the 6, man. That's the 6. Nico, Hakan, Henrik, Pietra, Peter, whatever, Petey, Davide, and Christian. We have 6 very capable midfielders. And when you look at the starters versus the bench, oh yeah, I mucked around with this today as well. This is what we're looking at going into next season. I mucked around a tiny bit with the 3-5-2 and altered it just in case we made a minor change in midfield and at the back. But you're going to see Zoma, Bastoni, De Vrij, Acerbi, Pavard, Hakan, deep, Barella and Zielinski interchanging, Di Marco and Dumfries, Toro Thuram. Or alternatively, Hakan deep, Barella, Mickey alternating with inside of Di Marco and Dumfries. Those of you watching this back, because we started the video with only like 11 viewers and now there's 19 of you. And unfortunately, there's 21 now. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to get going. But I do want people to watch it back. And if they do, comment with how you're feeling. Are you okay with this being the starting lineup this season? And I'll do another video soon if people want it for our bench. Because we can make another whole starting 11 with our bench this season. With Martinez, with Bisek, with either De Vrij or Acerbi, with Ricardo Rodriguez or a potential other centre-back coming in, because I think we are going to have to go in for one, unless they really plans on interchanging Di Marco and Augusto there, which I don't think is a good idea. We're doing the bench, aren't we? Yeah. Asllani for Hakan, Zielinski or Mkhitaryan interchanging for either or, Frattesi for Barella, Darmian for Dumfries, Darmian for Pavard as well, if need be, Carlos Augusto for Di Marco, Taremi for Thuram, Arnautovic for Lautaro, Frattesi and Mkhitaryan picking up forward minutes. Yo, there's still 3.5 weeks till the season. There's still 2 months left of market. Guys, this Inter team has never been closer to ready at this point of a season since before the treble season. I said this to Mattia the other day. I go, bro, remember when the treble was approaching and we lost Zlatan? I was hella stressed. I haven't been this stress-free in a market since we ended up signing all the people that came over after Calciopoli. Like, honest to God. We look good, man. We look scary. Well, I don't think that we're done yet, and I don't think we should be done yet. I think with the players I mentioned that are there to replace, we might need one more. Let's say Ricardo Rodriguez comes in or another left center back comes in. We need one more forward. Or do we need one more forward? I don't know that we do. I don't know that we do. Yeah. Anyway. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I told you guys I could cram a lot into the 35 minutes that I was available. And if this is our lineup going into next season, I'm cheering, man. I'm cheering. I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy with everything. I can definitely see a couple of our players maybe struggling to get into form if they're not played into form enough. Like, just be very careful with the one of De Vrij or Acerbi that's out of favor. that's a bit of a liability coming back. I've said this 3 seasons in a row now, and the disrespect is disgusting from me, but surely this is the season that Matteo Darmian puts in that makes us go, we love you, bro. We love you so much. Fucking induct him into the Hall of Fame. La Grande Inter for all I care. But Matty Darms might need to take a hike after this season. If we're sitting here at the end of next season and we're still saying that Darmian has a spot in this team, bro, like I'm fucking done out here with this guy, bro. I can't believe I haven't got his jersey yet. Goodmanson will probably come. Let's clear up his court case first and see what's going on. Yes, Figo, come on. Loved having that little chat with you on Twitter today as well, bro. Keep the humor coming, cuz. I hope you're good. Hope the fam's good. Hope everything's smoking nice. I'm about as confident as you are, bro, for the first time ever. Like, look at us go at the moment. Could be famous last words. We could stutter, my G, next season, but I'm that calm, bro. I am that calm, Figo, bro. I'm that calm. We are looking good. I hope Inzaghi has got a rocket up their asses, bruv, and tells them, yo, if you guys perform at a high level this season, you will win another Scudetto. You will win the title again. You are the best team in Serie A. And that's a fact. That's a fact. It's also a fact that this stream is now over. Thank you so much to everybody that joined in today. I know it wasn't a huge stream or a large one, but I'm hoping those who watch it back get just as much out of it as those who tuned in live. Thank you so much. I'll be back with more content soon. My name is Anthony. Forza Inter Worldwide. Ciao.